This is the new BMW 4 Series Gran Coupe, and it's a little bit like Burberry. You see, to be honest, you're paying a bit extra for the name over a 3 Series, which would be a bit more like this other brand I wear called Luke. So in this video I'm going to find out, is this worth the extra for the added kudos of having a 4 over a 3 and for a slightly swoopier, more fashionable design? Well, in this video we're going to find out, because I'm going to talk you through the exterior, the interior, the practicality of this car. I'm going to check out its tech, take it for a drive, and I think I'm going to launch it as well, because this is the M440i version with a turbocharged 3-litre engine. Anyway, I'm Matt Watson and you're watching CarWow.
Buying a new car? Then head to CarWow and my team will help you find your next car at a fair price. CarWow, your one-stop car buying comparison site.
Let's start this video by talking about the design, because that's why you're paying extra for this 4 Series Gran Coupe over a 3 Series. So this is the main thing here, this swooping roof line which comes down to just this short little boot bit here. There you do have a bit of a spoiler there. Looks nice from the rear. This is the M440i model, as denoted by this badge here, which means that it's a bit more aggressive looking because it's sportier. So you get a deeper rear bumper on it and a fake diffuser and some exaggerated exhaust surrounds. Though models down the range do have real exhaust, they're just like normal round ones without the exaggeration. Moving down the side, oh, well, before we do, look, the M440i gets smoked effect for the taillights. Nice. Now, wheel sizes start at 18 inches, rising to 20s, and as standard on the M440i, you get 19s. Weird that this is my favourite feature, actually. This, the door handles. See, on the 3 Series, the door handles look, whereas these, look, they're flush. And then, because it's a coupe, not a coupe because it's got 4 doors, look, frameless windows, coupe, although it's not coupe. And that swooping roof line. We're going to see what that does to practicality a little later on in this video. Moving down the side, look, this one's got side skirts because it's the M440i, and it's got the M-Star door mirrors. The standard car doesn't have that. We've got some air breathers there. They're not fake, they're real. Then if you go to the front, it's dominated by this grille. Now, have you got used to that grille yet? Do you like it yet? Let me know in the comments below. This being the M440i model, you get a more aggressive sporty front bumper there with this U shape. As standard, you get LED lights there. This has the upgraded laser lights. You know what, I quite like it in this, what is this, maroon colour? Burgundy? I don't know. Anyway, the 4 Series Gran Coupe starts from £42,000, which is £9,000 more than the starting price for the 3 Series. Now, if you want to make sure you're paying a fair price for the car you're buying, click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the link in the description below to go to CarWow. Also, if you're swapping into another car, you're probably selling your current car, you want to make sure you're getting a good price on the car you're selling, and you can now sell through CarWow. You just upload some images, description, and our dealers will bid on your car and they'll give you the cash and come and take your car away from you. It's easy. Go check it out. In fact, just do it to find out how much your car is currently worth. Here on the inside, the 4 Series Gran Coupe seems identical to a 3 Series. However, unlike the 3 Series, you can only get the 4 Series Gran Coupe in M Sport trim and above. And that's actually quite a good thing, because it means that you get a sporty steering wheel. You get the larger infotainment system as well. And the infotainment system is good. It's nice and responsive. It's easy to use. Though, to tell you the truth, I've got a 3 Series. I don't really use BMW's own system. I just connect with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Well, actually Android Auto, because I'm an Android guy, and I do that wirelessly. That brings me on to the digital driver's display. It's nice to have it, and you can see what's going on. It's just a little bit dark and dull, and it's definitely not the best system on the market. In fact, if you want to check out a review of a car which is very similar to this, which has a better driver's display and infotainment system, and you can save a stack of money on through CarWow right now, click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the link in the description below. Right, another thing I want to show on this car is, look, oh, carbon fibre trim. That's not standard. And these seats, sport seats, they're not standard either. They're a £900 option. But that brings me on to the seating position, because regardless of which seats you go for in this 4 Series Gran Coupe, the seating position is nice. You can sit low, though there's plenty of adjustments, so you can sit high if you're a short arse, and there's lots of adjustment in the steering wheel, and the position of it is just right, nice and sporty. And sometimes with BMWs, when you have the manuals, the pedals are offset to the right, so you can feel a bit twisted behind the wheel. But all 4 Series Gran Coupes come with an automatic gearbox as standard, and that's another reason for the price differential, the starting price differential over the 3 Series. Other than that, you've got the same kind of practicality as the 3 Series, even though it's a sporty looking car. So here in the front, look, we've got some wireless charging there for your mobile phone, a couple of cup holders, a USB port there, a 12-volt socket if you're really old fashioned and you, I don't know, got a Thompson or something, which you don't need because you're going to use that anyway. And look, the glove box is a decent size. We've got some more storage under here, USB-C port there if you've got a more modern phone like me. And then here, look, you've got some extra storage, which is lined with felt, and I actually find that a good place to, where have I put them? Yes. To put your keys when you've got keyless go. And because it's lined with felt, you don't get a rattling sound when you go over bumps. Now, quality in here is actually really, really good. So I think BMW's perceived build quality is better than Mercedes and Audi. It really is. Just the quality of the materials is just a bit nicer. The design though, it's a little bit conservative, but at least you've got like separate climate control buttons from the infotainment system, unlike some other cars nowadays. So that's nice and easy to use. But it's not the most flashy looking car on the inside. But one thing that does stand out is the fact that even down here, you've got a soft touch material on the door bin. Speaking of which, I haven't shown you that, have I? Look, you can fit a decent sized bowl in the door bin, which is good. Yeah, it's nice, this interior. Here in the back of the 4 Series Gran Coupe, it's a tale of good and bad. The good is that it's definitely more roomy than the normal 4 Series Coupe. Also, you have 3 seats in the back rather than just 2. So would you want to sit with 3 people in the back of here? Only for very, very short distances. And that brings me on to the bads. You see, there doesn't seem to be quite as much knee room in the back of a normal 3 Series. And I don't know whether it's these sport seats, but they seem to be quite low, so you can't really stretch your feet out underneath the seats in front. I also think that the seat here in the back is slightly lower to the floor than in the 3 Series, so you feel a little bit more like you're sitting in a stress position with less under thigh support. And then there's the headroom. So I'm sitting up and I'm fine. I have just about got enough headroom, but people over 6 foot are going to struggle because of that sloping roof line. It's not all bad though. You get 3-zone climate control as standard across the range, which is another reason for that higher starting price of the 4 Series Gran Coupe compared to the normal BMW 3 Series. And you've got 2 USB ports here in the back as well. Some other features which are worth mentioning. Look, good old covered cup holders in the armrest and proper through loading, yes. Door bins are a decent size as well in the rear, and you have flip up Isofix anchor covers. In fact, the Isofix is really easy to get to. And even though this car's doors aren't the largest and you've got that sloping roof line, it's actually quite easy to fit even a big rear facing child seat in here, so that's good. Still, if you want a sleek, sporty looking German car with 4 doors, click on the pop out banner up there. I'll follow the link in the description to see my review of a car that's very similar to this, but a lot roomier. Let's move on to the boot, because look at this. Not only do you get an electric tailgate as standard, it's a hatchback tailgate, so it means it's easier to load than a saloon, like the 3 Series. Though the 3 Series' boot is 10 litres larger at 480 litres, because this capacity is 470 litres. Though that is still 5 litres more than you get with an Audi A5 Sportback. So yay, BMW, you just about won that one there. In terms of the space, it is quite nice and square. Bit of a load lip to lift stuff over, but it's not too big. There's some net here to keep things in place, some hookage. And look, we've got the 12-volt socket there and some other tie-down points as well. And that does my head in about this though. Look, there's no releases for the seats here in the boot, and you can't quite get your hand in there because of the shape of this part of the body. So you do have to walk around to fold down the rear seats. Look, I'm just going to do it like this. I'm going to do it all from here actually. Look, ow, I just hurt my knee. Oh, I can't on this seat back. Anyway, that brings on to 5 annoying things about this car. Look how far the rear windows don't go down. Despite this sleeker roofline, the 4 Series Gran Coupe is actually less aerodynamic than the more boxy 3 Series. It's also heavier as well, and those 2 factors will mean it's less efficient. If you get these optional sporty front seats, then the integrated headrests and the wideness of them means that they do block your view forward if you're sat in the back, which is a bit annoying. If you have your phone on the wireless charging pad and then someone gets and puts their phone charger in there like that, it's quite hard to get this out past it, and you end up like damaging either your cable or that socket. While this hard load cover does feel expensive, there's nowhere to store it in the car, so there's no false floor when you're loading the boot full. Also, if you really want to ram it as full as you can get it, you also have to remove this cover here like that. There's nowhere to put that either. It's not all negative though. Here's 5 good things about this car. The 420D and this M440i version have a milder hybrid system, so when you brake it recoups the energy, puts it in a battery, and then can use it to supplement the energy when you accelerate. As a result, this car's efficiency is pretty good for a high performance 6-cylinder. I've averaged 32.6 out of it, but on a motorway run I actually got up to 40 miles per gallon, which is nuts considering how quick this is. Speaking of the M440i, it gets some standard equipment which is optional on the other models, such as upgraded M performance brakes, a limited slip rear differential, and adaptive dampers. For this car, BMW has integrated the reversing camera into the BMW badge, which is not only neat, it does mean that it gets a little less covered in dirt than the normal position where they have it like on the 3 Series, which is there. You can get an optional drive recorder app. So what that uses is the surround view cameras on the car, and if you have an accident, it actually records the previous 20 seconds before the accident and the 20 seconds after it. So you have the evidence to take somebody to court. You may think this grille is ugly, but this bit is clever, look. These flaps close when your engine doesn't need cooling for improved aero. Then obviously when it does need cooling, they open up to let the air in to cool things down. Before I drive this car, let's talk about the engine choices. So the range kicks off with the 420i, which has a 2-litre turbo petrol with 184 horsepower. Then there's the 430i, which also has a 2-litre petrol, but that has 245 horsepower. Both those cars are available only as rear-wheel drive. You can get a diesel, it's the 420d, and that has a 190 horsepower 2-litre diesel engine, and you can get that as either rear-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive. Then there's this car, the M440i, which has a 3-litre turbo straight 6 with 374 horsepower, and it comes with 4-wheel drive as standard. Now, if you need help choosing which is the very best of the 4 Series Gran Coupes to have, I've configured it. My favourite one here through carwow using my special folding phone. Now, if you want to see what my favourite one is and the saving you can get on it through carwow, click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the link in the description below. Okay, let's see what this BMW 4 Series Gran Coupe is like to drive. Starting off with what it's like on a twisty road. And I've got the car in sports mode, and because all but the entry-level M Sports have adaptive suspension, that firms up the suspension and makes the car a little bit more responsive and stops it leaning so much in the bends. And it does feel like an agile, sporty car. Really is quite nice. However, you do notice the bumps when you're in that sporty mode, so I've had enough of that. Let's go into just comfort. It's more my thing. Though to be fair, you can mix and match. So you can have like a sporty engine setup and sporty gearbox and softer suspension. Even then though, you do notice the bumps a bit more than in a 3 Series. It's not a bad thing though, you know, you can live with it. You also notice a bit more noise as you're going over the bumps than you do in a 3 Series. In fact, when you're driving this car on the motorway as well, you get a little bit more tyre noise and wind noise than the 3 Series and another German car. And if you want to see what that German car is, that is a little bit quieter than this on the motorway, click on the pop-out banner up there or follow the link in the description to see my review of that car. However, this still does feel expensive and sophisticated to drive, and so it should do at this price. It's a nice thing though, and the gearbox, you know, you can change gears yourself if you want to, and it's fairly responsive. It's not the snappiest manual shifters, but you're better off just putting it into automatic anyway, and then it really does just blend the gears very smoothly and seamlessly. Nice automatic gearbox, and it's great that it comes as standard because you won't want a car like this with a manual. Anyway, let's see what this car's like to drive in town. So at low speeds, it's all fine. You actually get a decent view out the front as well. You get a nice view over the bonnet, even though you're sitting quite low. The view out the back window isn't terrible, but it's not great either. Big door mirrors though, which is handy when you're parking, and it is really easy to drive. Another good thing about it is it gets steering which is quite responsive, and so when you're going slowly, you don't actually need to turn the wheel all that much to turn tightly, so you're not doing too much wheel twirling when you're maneuvering. Another thing that's good about it is that if you have the optional cruise control with steering assist, you can actually operate it in stop-start traffic, even in town. It's really good, that. Just takes a strain out of long distance journeys. Trouble is though, it is an optional extra, whereas on some other cars, you get it thrown in as standard. That's classic BMW for you. They always do rinse you out on options such as that. You know, the luxury options, even though it's supposed to be a luxury-ish car. It does feel fairly luxury though, with this 6-cylinder engine. However, you're more likely to go for the diesel, and the diesel engine is really good and it'll give you great economy, almost 60 miles per gallon when you're on the motorway. One last thing to test is the turning circle. It's supposed to be 12 meters, which is more than an Audi A5. And yes, look, oh, can I get over can I get around there without curbing it? I can't get around here again. Oh, bollocks. Chaos. Oh, chaos absolutely ensuing now. Sorry, everybody. Sorry. Yep, I'm gonna go on. Oh dear, hopefully no one's in a rush. Oh, they've all forgiven me. Not a single horn honk. You know, if I was in blooming London, it would have been like, you, oh my God, what are you doing? Oh God, what an absolute idiot you are. BMW says this car can do 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds, but I'm going to find out with my specialist timing gear up here what it's really going to do. Let's launch it. Oh, it's quick. What we got? Yes, classic BMW. They lied, but they lied in the best way. 0 to 60, 4.2 seconds. Boom. It's well rapid. So then, what's my final verdict on the BMW 4 Series Gran Coupe? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should consider the 4 Series Gran Coupe, because while it's technically a very good car, if you want a proper coupe, get the 4 Series, and if you want a practical family car that looks good, get the 3 Series, because it's less expensive and a bit more practical. And that's the end of that then, isn't it? Well, actually it's not, because don't forget, if you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. Let me know some of the videos you'd like me to do in the comments below. Click on those windows there for some more videos, and on that box there to go to CarWow to see how much money you can save on new car.